Monday morning, world. Let's get this week started. I was sitting here looking at myself. Do y'all do that? And anyway, good morning, everybody. Eddie Williams Sutlers coming to you from a rain-soaked East Point, Georgia this morning, sitting out here in my backyard. And sitting here looking at myself, and I thought, I kind of starting to favor my Uncle Aaron Bratcher and a little bit of Bud Bratcher. It's kind of odd. I've always looked like the Sellers side of the family. But as we get older, more and more of our DNA comes up out of us, in us, or whatever, doesn't it? So I'm looking more like the Bratchers in my older age. So honest to God, sometimes I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I can see Granny Bratcher, And in years past, I'd see more of the Sellers. But anyhow, that's just a tangent that you wasn't privy to. But see what happens when you tune in and listen. You don't never know, do you? What I might come up with, what I might say. Anyhow, everybody, good morning. It is 7:57 right now. I've got to be down at Emory on Peachtree at 10:45. I'm having an upper and lower GI done this morning where they're going to look down and see what my esophagus looks like. Look up my booty, see what all that kind of stuff looks like back up in there. I would encourage you to get screened, get tested. There's a wonderful documentary on Netflix, I believe, about Andrea Stupid. And it's a wonderful documentary about a guy who just says, I was so stupid that when they recommended that I should get tested 2 years ago, and if I had, I would have lived a long life. But because I refused to, because I didn't want somebody prying around in my butt, now he died in the documentary. So anyhow, get screened. Beard looks good this morning, don't it? Look at me. I can just hear Miss Kathy out there somewhere saying, my God, Eddie, are you bored? I'm wishing time would hurry up and speed by so I can get on down to the hospital and get this out of the way. And later on today, maybe have me a little thing of Chinese food or something, because it's hell not eating, isn't it? Like yesterday, I didn't eat anything all day yesterday. And I'm like, good Lord, by bedtime last night, I was hungry, y'all. Hungry. Anyhow, the Morning Post, everybody. Good morning. Hello, world. Hello. I feel like I could scream this morning. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to have health. Look at all this words I'm saying that I've got breath actually just palpitating through my body and my beings and my fingernails and my fingers, and I'm alive, and I can smell the dampness of the rain, and I can see all the flowers and the hydrangeas, and I've got a zest for living. So anyhow, the Morning Post, everybody. I had to get up at 5 this morning to take the second half of the medicine to clean me out. You probably need a good cleaning out. Y'all remember when my Aunt Mary, when I was a little boy, I saw her stomach, or when I lived with her in Scottsdale, and her and my Uncle AC, and I guess I was in 4th grade. Her answer for everything, although she was holding this and bleeding and laying on of hands and be healed in Jesus' name kind of holy woman, but her other answer to everything was prune juice. She said, oh, you need some prune juice. I'm like, no, please, no prune juice. She said, just take a little swig of it. It'll clean you up, clean you out. I didn't like prune juice. Do they still even do prune juice nowadays? That's neither here. Tangents when you get old. But to clean me out, I find that solution that you drink, that saline solution or whatever it's called, I just find it disgusting. And it's just, I always have to call upon Jesus to help me get the last little bit of it down. I'm like, just Jesus. It is wet and foggy while sitting outside this morning. I am having an upper and lower GI done later this morning. It is preventative, making sure that all of the inner workings still look good after 70 years. Yes. Wow. I fasted yesterday. Not of my own choosing, doctor's orders. I do fast sometimes for a day or two. It's good and healthy for you. I always notice, though, when I fast, how psychological and powerful food is. Yesterday, later on in the day, I was hungry and I thought, man, a good plate of Chinese food would be so delicious. Good Lord. The General Tso's chicken or lo mein or an egg roll, just an egg roll, Or yesterday afternoon I thought about just a honey bun. Glory be unto the name of the Lord. A honey bun would have been so good. But yesterday, food is deeply, deeply comforting. Food is probably more powerful than crack or heroin. It probably is our first love, to love food as a kid. Eliana at 4 years old. I seen a video of her yesterday on Facebook. Heather had posted where her and Heather was at a Mexican restaurant, and Eliana just tears into that little cheese thing and chips, and she's eating that cheese. She says, "Oh, it's so good." It is good, isn't it? Don't you love it? That little red sauce and a little dip it in that cheese. Good heaven! You can tell I'm obsessed with food this morning. The food can make us healthy, or it will kill you. It's basically up to us, y'all. Now that the first half of 2026 is behind us, what do we do in the second half of this year? Where do we want to go? I know Ava and I want to go to New York City in the fall after it cools down up there. Maybe re-celebrate in October, us getting married up there last year in October. Jill's working now, so her and Savannah can't go. What do you want to get done in the second half of the year? You got any dreams, any plans, any stuff you really like? I just like to go. Well, you've been thinking about buying that boat. Get off your ass. Go buy the boat. Good Lord. Who cares? Go get you a boat if that's what you want to do. I know that when my friend Sammy died, I know this is odd, but I had thought the last couple of years, it was the first period in my life where I didn't have a truck. And I'm like, man, I just miss a truck. And trucks are so expensive. Hell, they're like buying a second house. And I was like, I just miss having a truck. I had a Highlander, and I'd throw shit in the back of it and try to load it up. I said, man, I just miss it. But you got all that extra insurance to pay. You got cars, they're expensive, this and that. My friend Sammy died unexpectedly. And like 3 weeks later, I was thinking, I'm like, you better quit worrying about, if you want a truck, go buy a damn truck. So I went out and bought my Toyota truck. It's been a blessing over these last few tangents. Getting on tangents, y'all. So what do we want to do for the rest of this year, now that 2026 is halfway behind us? Where do we want to go? Now that the Key Roadhouse is finished, what projects do I want to finish the year with? I will start putting the garden to bed here later on in the fall, getting the yard put away for the winter. I will enjoy the Sundays of cool days in football with my windows up here at Constance's house. And there will be food in the fall also, dinner simmering on the stove, chicken wings and desserts while watching the Falcons really put it on the New Orleans Saints 2 times this year. I think we beat them 2 times last year. They ain't nothing. We'll beat them again 2 times this year. So anyhow, yeah, football, chicken and wings and desserts. There is still a lot of life to enjoy in the second half of this year. Anytime you go under anesthesia, especially at 70, it can be a little tricky. I think this morning, like, good Lord, I hope I don't up and die on that table down there. You like, Eddie, you shouldn't even talk like that. Well, I mean, we think it, don't we? We think it like, I don't want to go before I get me a little bowl of Chinese food or something. I think I want to go on a full stomach. I don't want to go on an empty stomach. Got a little cough going on there. Now that the 4th is behind us, the Great 250, the mess that the country is in, is not for a lack of people speaking out. I thought about this, y'all. Multitudes and multitudes of people have spoken out all the way through the Trump MAGA era. It's not for the lack of people speaking out. Actually, there's very few people who hasn't spoken out. From superstars to ordinary Joes like Eddie Williams Sellers, coming to you from East Point, Georgia this morning, going out over the world on this thing called the internet. For me, it actually feels good to speak out, to post videos, to make posts of how absurd the whole MAGA movement and Trump movement is. I think I could best describe the MAGA movement as Christians on crack. Exactly. You get it too, don't you? The rest of 2026 will go by quickly. Summer will end. School will start back in a month. Football will start. Then Labor Day weekend. Then Halloween. Then Thanksgiving and Christmas. Life and years have a pattern to them. They fall into a rhythm. And as all of that goes by, we are living through this odd, weird, strange energy over this part of our nation in this time of history, where evil is perceived as good and good is perceived as evil. It almost seems biblical, y'all. Seems like Jesus kind of warned us about these days, don't it? Until there is a more stable government in place, the weird energies and negative forces will rule over our country. We will all have to live under that for just a while longer, until the spell is broken. And whatever happened to the war with Iran, that we supposedly won 30 or 40 times, whatever became of that? MAGA? Trump lover? It's like I called your mom a dirty name, isn't it? You took it personally, didn't you? Let me close with this. Good Monday morning, sweet people. The week begins. I am thankful for my health this morning. I look good in this little black shirt, don't I? I look good. No, look. Do y'all ever look at yourself and think, shit, I look good? Yeah, I look good. The week begins. I am thankful for my health, for a home, for groceries, for a good plate of Chinese food, for my courage. I picked up courage somewhere along the way on this journey. I think it was when I was about 8 years old, and I left that house on Savannah Street and never went back. And I'm like, I'm just going to go, I'll figure it out. If I have to sleep on the bush, behind a bush somewhere, I will, but I'm not doing this. Man, you talking about courage for a 9-year-old little boy to take control of his own life. Yeah, I've always appreciated my courage. Yeah, for my connection to other worlds. Well, let me get out of here. I love y'all. Good day.